There's something I've been very interested in knowing. I was researching every one of your movies, and I actually didn't know that Michael Caine wasn't your actual name. And I was reading a story about a phone booth. Is that actually true? How you came up with it?
I'll make this very fast. I was a very young actor. My real name is Maurice Micklewhite, and I had to have a stage name because it was sort of difficult. So I called myself Michael White when I was in repertory in the country. I came to London and I got a London agent, and I was going to do television. And I used to go in Leicester Square, which is like Times Square in London, in New York. And I used to go to this specific phone booth every evening and phone my agent to see if I'd got a job, because I was broke and everything. And there was all the cinemas around. And then one day she said to me, "You've got a job, but you've got to join Equity, which is the actors' trade union." And she said, "You can call yourself Michael, but you can't call yourself White because there is a Michael White." And so she said, "I want a name now because I want it really." And there was Humphrey Bogart in the Caine Mutiny on at the Odeon. And I said, "Caine, Michael Caine." I said, she said, "How do you spell it?" I said, C-A-I-N-E. And she said, "Okay." And it always occurred to me, because I'm glad I was at the Odeon, because if I'd have gone to the Leicester Square Theatre, I'd have been Michael 101 Dalmatians.
Now that would have been awesome.
What's on your passport? What name is on your passport?
Michael Caine.
Is it
Oh
really?
no, I had to change it.
You had to change it legally too?
I had to change it legally because all the terrorist thing at the airport, I kept getting arrested. Because I had one name on the ticket and one name on the passport, and the people coming up with guns going, "Get over the corner."
I want to see
come with us, sir.
One thing I love, the line you said in the movie is about the idea of the family is more important than the career. And I'm wondering for each of you, what is that balance, and how do you find that balance of like not letting your career overtake your personal life?
Well, I was obsessed for a long time with career, but by the same token, I would take my family with me wherever I went.
Cool.
My kids grew up on movie sets because no matter where in the world I was going, they were there. We brought a tutor along, and so they were not rarely out of my sight.
As a young actor, I was very peripatetic, and I didn't have what you would call family. I mean, it was just me, and for the longest time, I didn't have a window to throw it out of. So it wasn't about, it was me, survival.
One of my favorite scenes in the film is when you are driving Mr. Freeman in that basket.
That's funny, yeah.
It's amazing. I'm wondering, when you filmed that scene, how did it look on set? Were you worried about falling out? I mean, and you're letting the powder out. That was really funny. I'm wondering how that scene was filmed.
No, I have so much trust in Michael. You would be amazed. And we didn't have to rehearse it. I refuse to rehearse things like that.
No, otherwise you get it wrong,
Yeah. So no, that was part of the easy parts of it, because I'm just writing.
Yeah, and I was just sitting down. I thought, I'm sitting down. This is nice. I felt a bit tired, and I'm riding up and down in this trolley. It was great. I didn't mind.
And it was a long day. We had to spend the day at that supermarket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
we
a
enjoyed
little bit
ourselves.
of fun, both of us sitting down.
We were sitting down. It was good.
Yeah. I was one of the favorite scenes in the film is when you guys were all watching The Bachelor, and I just got married in October, and my wife has kind of gotten me into watching The Bachelor now to a point where I'm a little disturbed that I know so much about the characters in that movie and in the show. I'm wondering, have either of you ever watched The Bachelor in your real lives? Do you even know
Not
the
me.
people on those shows?
I don't even know what it is.
What? The Bachelor?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't watch The Bachelor.
Is this one of those shows where a woman sits and there are three men behind the screen and they give their credentials and she chooses? Is that one of those?
Well, it's the scene in the movie when you're watching it.
Oh, I've seen that.
And they're basically doing the thing where
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never.
You would never watch The Bachelor.
Well, no. I mean, I know what it is, so obviously I've watched somewhere along the way.
You only watch those things when you have a regular life, because if you watch a series, you want to be able to see everything. Actors don't have a regular life. We could be in China next week or something.
Yeah.
And so I've never seen a series of anything.
You're not going to China next week?
I'm not going to China next week.
You're not going to China?
I've never been. I'm not going to go next week.
You've never been to China?
I've been to China. It's great.
How many times
You missed something.
Yeah, it's full
I
of
know
Chinese.
I missed something by not going to Indonesia,
Go
too.
to Shanghai. You can't breathe.
What?
Go to Beijing. You'll eat well.
But you can't breathe.
I can't breathe.
No, I mean the air is so bad in Beijing and Shanghai. Those
I've heard
big
that.
cities.
That's one of the many reasons I don't want to go.
Yeah, okay.
The one thing I love about this movie, I love the scene when Morgan Freeman's in the basket.
Yeah.
That is classic. First of all, how the heck did you convince him to do that? And how did you shoot that where he wasn't going to fall off and kill himself? That was insane.
It was really tricky to do, and as a testament to the guys, I thought they were going to do maybe half of it and have stuntmen do the rest of it. But we built a special effects scooter that was reinforced and extra safe. It had like arms that went out so they couldn't tip over.
It looks so practical.
Well,
it
we painted it out in post. But also another key thing was to make Yeah. Well, I couldn't have them. I couldn't risk them. They were literally driving it through, our traffic, but through traffic.
He was letting that powder out. That was so funny.
That was amazing. And we had a great effects team, but I gotta say, a testament to Morgan. He was in that basket. We put cushions in there to make it more comfortable, but we made it so comfortable he didn't want to get out. He spent the whole day in the
6'2".
basket.
I know, he's huge.
He spent the whole day in the basket. He was like, I'm comfortable, I'm fine, I'm staying right here.
I love the line that Morgan Freeman says he's talking to his daughter, he says, her career is not as important as seeing her family. And I think it's interesting because, in this business, it is hard to juggle that. I mean, like, obviously being an actor, being a director, but working in movies. Can you talk about like how you find that balance of family and work, and like how, if you ever even found that balance? Is that...
Well, for me, it's I don't have a family to juggle too much. I don't have a wife and kids yet. I know that is a big conundrum for a lot of people because we're always on the road. We're like a traveling carnival. We're rarely in our hometown. But maybe Ann can speak to it because she has a husband and family.
Well, you have to want to make it work, both of you. And one thing that's really wonderful is that, well, I love my husband. Let's see, May 8th, if we make it it'll be 50 years we've been married.
Wow.
But wonderful is that he was an actor first, and producer. He understands when I have to work till 3 a.m. And the kids, well, I met them when they were 7, 6, and 3. Now they're older.
Your filmography is incredible. Everything you've done.
I'm exhausted.
I was always wondering though about the name and the name you used in Hollywood versus actually using the last name Olsen, and you had the Ann-Margret. I was wondering how you decided to do that.
At the kitchen table at our home in Wilmette, Illinois, I was going to go to Hollywood and talk to Mother and Daddy at the kitchen table, and I said, I'm going to go as Ann-Margret, just Ann-Margret, because I didn't want them to be hurt by anything that was said about me. That's the exact reason.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never knew that either.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ann-Margret Olsen. Ann-Margret, jaha.
I love when you use the Dog Day Afternoon footage in the movie because I'm just a big film fan. When you use footage like that, is that hard to get access to? Is it like a studio thing? How do you know that you can use that if it's written in the script?
You have to ask, and you have to get it licensed, and I think I'm pretty sure Al Pacino has to approve it. It's funny, I met Al Pacino since we made the movie at a dinner.
Oh, really?
And I said, we were talking, and I said I'm such a fan and all that obvious stuff, and I said, by the way, you're in my new movie. You probably don't know that. He goes, what are you talking about? I go, oh, we have a clip of Dog Day Afternoon. You're in my movie, and we were laughing about it.
What are you talking about?
But yeah, you have to get it licensed. It helps if it happens to be the same studio, and I believe that's a Warner Brothers title.
Yeah, I don't know how you got Bachelor in there because that's ABC and this is Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
that was cool. That was the funniest scene in the movie. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a pleasure
Thank
meeting
you.
you. By the
Nice
way.
to meet you.